What's good, YouTube? It's me, Scooty, back in another video. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I was thinking maybe this card is actually playable in this current metagame. Is there any way that we can actually side this card? That was a popular card way back in the day. It was even limited to 1. It was so powerful. But that card is Cyber Dragon. So you guys feel free to call me crazy, but this card actually has several applications. As you know, we already have a couple of fusion monsters that this can go into, namely Chimeratech Fortress Dragon, which takes 1+ machine monsters on either side of the field, and you would contact fuse using Cyber Dragon and any machine monsters that your opponent controls to sort of get rid of them without activating any effects. So Omni Negates don't really work against this strategy. And I was thinking, looking at the Super Heavy Samurai boards, a lot of times they're ending in powerful machines. Sometimes these machine floodgates, we're getting things like Regulus, which is a machine that they typically end on. We also get things like the Super Heavy Samurai Ninja Sarutobi, which is another machine that's also a potential interrupt against your spell and trap cards. If you're playing continuous spells, if you're playing even the Super Heavy Samurai, they have the Wakiushi, which is a pendulum monster. So they're putting up a lot of machine cards. And the other card that's also quite popular in today's metagame is Spell Canceller against a lot of the spell decks. They're ending typically in a Saryusha to special summon the Spell Canceller from the hand. Sometimes they have that paired with the Regulus as well. And then, as you know, they also have a Baron on the board. So I was thinking, is there any way that Cyber Dragon is actually playable as a second option, where you can special summon Cyber Dragon from your hand while your opponent controls more monsters than you? And then from there, we can actually contact fuse into Chimeratech Fortress Dragon by using whatever machines they have. Even if they only have 1 machine, Spell Canceller or Regulus, it's still kind of getting a job. It's getting a 1-for-1 trade, and it's also giving you a body. It's giving you a 2k body, so you're getting a free +1 value in terms of card advantage. We're able to use this Chimeratech Fortress Dragon either as a link off or potentially just as a 2k beater. Or in the chances that they have 2 or more machines, it automatically gives us a 3k beater that we can just threaten the Baron with. So if they have Regulus, Spell Canceller, and Baron, we can special summon the Cyber Dragon. They don't have any way to get rid of it. It doesn't activate, right? It just special summons from hand. They cannot negate it. So we can contact fuse, get rid of the Spell Canceller, get rid of the Regulus, and then attack into the Baron. So it's literally like a 3-for-1 in that certain scenario. Obviously, it's not going to happen every time. I haven't really tested this card to see how effective it truly is, but this is just an idea I had. So maybe you guys can kind of tweak it out, test it out at locals, see how effective it is. It just kind of is exciting to me that a card that was so prevalent in the metagame, it basically destroyed GOAT format because of the 2100 beater that you could just special summon from your hand. It threatened a lot of boards, and in today's metagame, potentially we could resurge that and still threaten boards. Now, I'm not done there yet. There's actually other things we can hit as well. We're talking about things like popular in the format. Divine Arsenal Zeus is a machine. Obviously, you're able to threaten it. If they don't have any materials, we can just contact fusion that away. There are also some niche machines in the format as well, like Gold Pride Pinballer, which is also happens to be a machine. It's a 3k beater. Sometimes we don't have an effective way to get rid of it. We can just contact fuse after our board is clear anyways, because they're probably going to suck up equip 1 or 2 of our monsters, and then when we have Cyber Dragon in our hand to follow up, we can just go from there. The other cool thing that this card does is has applications with the other fusion, Chimeratech Mega Fleet Dragon. So this is the other fusion monster that a lot of people are forgetting about. This is a contact fusion that requires 1 Cyber Dragon monster on the field and 1 or more monsters in the extra monster zone. What does this mean? It means any deck that plays link monsters, decks like MathMech that typically put things into their extra deck, into their extra monster zone, you can actually contact that fusion that away. So, for example, Firewall Dragon, Dark Fluid, this is a new card that they're typically ending on in their extra monster zone. And the nice thing about this is that they also are going to be sending the fusion monster, which negates the spell or trap cards in their graveyard, and then they're going to have Firewall Dragon to send something like a Meteorologic Aggregator potentially, which allows them to have a 2-for-1 negation. However, if they have Cyber's D-Save Worm in the graveyard already and you special summon Cyber Dragon, there's no way for them to typically interact with the Cyber Dragon besides something like a MathMech Super Factorial. Obviously, we're not really going to count the Super Factorial as an interruption because you're going to have to deal with that anyways. So let's say that in the instance where you can bait it out or you do not have it, you can actually contact fuse with the Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid immediately. And that's not to say that the MathMech cards are but the fact that they're Cybers isn't a little annoying. It'd be nicer if they were a machine you could just contact fusion. So the Alambertian, or rather the Laplation that's summoned off of the trap is a little annoying here. But still, it doesn't matter. If we have that way to sort of bait that out and then go into our potential 2400 just to get rid of that monster, because it does get pretty big attack. We can also get rid of the D-Save Worm because it does require them to have that Link monster on the field in order to negate a Sprout Trap card. So that's a cool thing. The other thing is a lot of players are playing Baguska, and they typically put it in the main monster zone because they want to dodge things like Nightmare Cerberus, which happens to only pop monsters in the main monster zone. So they're going to put that in the extra monster zone, and then we're going to be able to contact off with that Baguska just to get rid of it as well. The only unfortunate thing you cannot do actually against Kashtira, you cannot actually contact fusion using a Kashtira Rise Heart while the effect is live, because it banishes everything, and contact fusion actually sends the graveyard as a cost to make that fusion. So because you cannot pay the cost by sending the graveyard, you cannot actually contact fusion under a Rise Heart or Macrocosmos. So unfortunately, it's not very good against Kashtira. But the nice thing is, it does have an application against Ibli. If people are playing Ibli and you get Ibli locked, what you can actually do is, if you have a Cyber Dragon in your hand, you can just tribute summon over the Ibli to get rid of it completely. Even if your opponent's monsters are all in defense mode, they can't really interact with this, because you're just going to go to main phase and then tribute summon the Nightmare Corruptor Ibli to get rid of that. So it has like a lot of cute applications. Is it the best card in the format to side? I don't know. I don't think there's probably better options, but this is just an idea I had, and it does fit into a lot of other decks, just as a pseudo extender anyways. It's a light machine monster that's just a generic extender. Who knows? Maybe this is something you could even side in Super Heavy Samurai just as attack option. Again, it's a machine card that lets you go into your links super easily, and also it's just like a generically good monster option that you can use to bait out your opponent's effects to get rid of their boards, and then in the rare instance where it is a blowout, you can actually trade off their entire field. So that's really nice option for you guys there. I just thought I'd bring it up. If you guys like this, definitely comment, subscribe, and rate. And if you have any options or any other applications on how Cyber Dragon can be useful, definitely let us know. And other than that, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.